Alrighty. Welcome, friends and foes, back to another stream. I'm your host, Weather42. Glad to have you on board. We're going to be talking about a couple of things. I'll be working through them. Some of them a little bit more quietly, some of them not so much. But thank you to all who show up, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy. So today we are going to be talking about fun. Hold on. Today we're going to be talking about our server and a couple of other things. So let's actually reload that. First, we're going to be starting off with some load testing. I've basically launched a few maps, and we're going to basically be doing some testing on the client side. So that's always fun. Alrighty. We'll also have to add missile testing to the list here. Cool. Let's go ahead and give it a nice little daytime glow here. This is a little too intimate for the stream we're trying to work on here. Awesome. Looking good. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the maps and just double check that we're able to basically navigate there without much lag here. Looking good. This is a map called FFR. It's made by Lutton. This is a private map, of course, made by an anonymous benefactor who wishes to remain nameless. This is Kansai in Japan. Let's keep going. I think I have some teleport locations saved. We're also going to need our cords here. Let's see. Yes. Let's also get rid of these clouds. They're very ugly. Remove all clouds. Let's see. Should have something out here too. I don't see it though. It's probably because of the oversized nature. That's fine. And let's go back. Should also see KBID here. There's KBID, awesome. And then there is the custom airport that I'm working on as well. Okay, cool. So frames seem pretty stable, which is good. Awesome. Let's go ahead and we'll do. So I've been working on some random handlings in the background, one of which is the Bambushka, which is a great one. Just show you what some of the handling profiles look like for some of these. Okay. Don't know if I'll have enough runway. V1. Okay. Awesome. Let's turn that up. Or actually, audio. Better. Alrighty. So I'm going to practice a VFR landing here. It's a bit of a warm-up. Now, the idea behind the VFR approaches when you're flying in the first person, aka real life, is that you should basically see a perfect sort of triangle where the farther ends of the runway are basically concaving in. And I'll show you, I think there is a reference, the pilot's, I can't remember if it's the PHAK, the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, or if it's just the FAR or AIM manuals. But basically, when you're to the left or to the right of the runway, there's a sort of distinct different look versus when you're perfectly centered. You see now, if you look at it, kind of take away that dimension here, that third dimension, or that perspective, I should say. You'll see like a perfect sort of trapezoid here. And I'll screenshot this just so you can see. And then I will draw it out in paint or something, and we'll talk about it for a sec. All right, got the gear down, got the flaps. We are thrust idle. It's a bit of a large runway, so there's no really need to... Oh, there's no collisions. Nope, they're there. Just haven't loaded in. Alrighty. Cool. So, while we are idling on the runway, maybe we'll just turn off the runway here. These sharp over 90-degree turns always fun. Alrighty, beautiful. So while we wait for imaginary permission to cross here, I'll go ahead and pull up the screenshot and give you a little bit more relevance here. Okay. So that's our runway here. And what I'll do is I'll delete a big portion of this, just so you have like a side visual reference. So, according to the PHAK, when you are approaching a runway, it should look something like this, which will indicate that you're directly centered here. Okay, and something like this. So notice how this looks like just a small pyramid, but if you can sort of trick your brain, you'll be able to tell that this is actually a runway, right? And there's actually cues that you can use to determine if you're too close or too far above or below the ideal approach line as well. But in general, as a rough sort of estimate, this is what it should look like. And you'll see we sort of have that same sort of logic here, which is a trapezoid. Now, how perfect that trapezoid is tells you basically how straight and level you are. So in this case, not to toot my own horn, but that's a pretty all right approach. So yeah, but based on, let's see if I can find that resource. PHAC approach cues, approach visual cues. Let's see. Too high, too low. Yes. It's the airplane flying handbook. I will pull this up for you. Let's see if we can find it here. Also zoom in so you guys can actually read the text. Here we go. So you'll be able to see that too high, you can see sort of just the distinct differences here. Too high, you can basically see most of the runway almost directly above. Ideally, you'll get this sort of stretching illusion, and then too low, you'll see that stretching illusion getting very close to the end of the runway, which I'm sure it's better articulated in here. Desired landing spots being shallow approach. Right. I will throw this into chat just in case anyone wants to do some homework for no reason. Okay, cool. So yeah, worked on that, worked on the cargo plane as much as I hate it. This thing works as well. I'll just take off just so you can see what that looks like. We're not even V1. Start rotating. Yeah, I hate this model just because the plane has to incur damage on takeoff just from the rotation. But it works. Feels slow just by the by virtue of its sheer scale, but that's working. Also did the Duster as well, which is a little bit more of a classic aircraft, and a couple of other things. I'm probably going to work on a few of those as well. Let's see. We'll pull up over here, and we'll do a quick takeoff test. And as you can see, tail wheel does full 90-degree rotations as well. So let's go ahead and do a quick takeoff. The only downside is that based on the non-retractable 3-wheel triplanes, you have this situation where takeoff is basically automatic. It sort of happens effectively as a result of its sort of pitch up attitude. Just fine. Someone will complain, but whatever, who cares? You'll see the control structure is pretty light, as it's a biplane. And we'll just do a little short final approach here as I sip my coffee. Alrighty. And similarly, you'll see that the landing is about the same, where we have to do a sort of a 3-point landing, which 3-point landings are a little bit more common, so. Alright, nice and easy. We're at thrust idle, but we're going to reduce the brakes as well, or increase the brakes. And there you go. Nice smooth landing. I have to reduce the braking power on that. I will do that eventually. Let's see. Duster I will work on. It's actually a really impressive plane model from Rockstar here. I think they've taken some inspiration from the existing modders out there, like Skyline, GTR Freak, and Recon, and a couple of the other guys out there. But, of course, their flight modeling is always terrible. Look at that wobble. It's so bad. Retractable gear, nope, none. Which means it'll have the same problem as the Duster, just fine. Yeah, no. Also have to fix the Howard. The Hydra's pretty much ready. I'll show you what that looks like as well. This model sucks just because of the hover handling. It's just so bad. Here, I'll show you. Basically, you can hover faster than the plane can actually travel forward, which I have to fix by making the hover handling terrible. Sort of de facto default, but you'll see as I'm pitching down, I'm gaining speed. Pitch down, pitch down, pitch down, pitch down. Which, maybe, but no. And I lost my, stabilizers. Yeah, so this shouldn't be happening. And we die. Alright. Let's see. Trying to figure out. Yeah, I guess we can work on the handling for the Duster 2 here, which I will have on the side. If anyone's curious about what I am doing, but let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so handling GD. Thruster 2. Awesome. So I normally start off with what the plane is based off of. Okay, so Air Tractor AT802. Let's see. It's a beautiful plane.
Buckeye, this is where we load the chemical into the airplane right here. This here is a single point fuel, and you can select what level of fuel you want.
Looks like a very sort of versatile plane. Looks very well controlled. She's pretty. Not bad. Does it take off? Nope. Inside cockpit videos. Now we're talking. There's the lift. Has very bouncy wheel suspension. Very nice. And lastly, we have to see the plane doing some aerobatics. Just so we can understand the handling characteristics here. Which there are none. Oh, maybe. The rolling profile looks very slow, very steady. We can implement that. Okay, so not a lot of horsepower. Cool. All right. So we'll start off with the thrust and see what this thing has to offer. Lock the time here. Thrust is ridiculous. It just goes from 0 to takeoff speed like immediately. So we will change the thrust from 0.67 to 0.50. And the thrust fall off will keep as is. Alrighty. Much better. Much better. Much better. Notice the speed gradient is a lot more slow. So the takeoff is a lot more earned here. Let's see what the max speed is on this thing. Low levels were 115. Ugh, turbulence, look at that garbage. 115, that's fine. We can maybe give it a little bit more, throttle restriction. 79, awesome. Geez, first things first. Let's get rid of this garbage, turbulence. Okay. Applications. Call this 30R. Cool. Restart that. We'll get rid of turbulence here. Beautiful. Engine off glide will increase that to 5 for now. Almost got distracted. Yaw multiplier, we'll want to reduce that as well. Take that down to maybe 400. Also, the roll is way too aggressive, so we'll take that from 7,700 to about maybe 4,000, give or take. Roll stabilize, we will remove. Pitch stabilize, we will also remove. Form lift molt, we will also remove. Pitch molt, it's a little bit too aggressive, but we'll keep it. Attack lift at 5 is also a bit crazy. So we'll reduce that to, and attack dive is fine. Just its ability to fly upside down. Okay, let's see what it looks like now. All right, teleport options. Cool. Let's see what we got. Good. It's V1. Uh-oh. Come on. Well, lift profile is not strong enough, so we will have to gear down lift. Increase our let's increase our lift profile again. Bring it back to 10,000. All right. Let's see what we got. Handling's bugged. Let's try it again. There we go. Come on. Oh. I guess not. Let's go back into form lift, and we might have to increase that. Oh, that is very unfortunate. Yeah, let's do it. Bring it back to 300. Restart that, and terrible. Terrible landing. All right, let's see. All right. We'll have to cheat a bit. Let's see. Whoa. Very sensitive. Very heavy. Yuck. Let's see. If that's set to 10,000, then it's going to be very sensitive on takeoff, but also very sensitive on landing as well. So we will need to adjust that. Let's say to reduce to 200. Oops. Reduce to 200 and increase the form lift. Let's try that. Better yet, reduce to 100. All right. Cool. Okay, let's go. V1, nothing. Okay, I might have to cheat here. Terrible. Let's increase that to 20,000. We're going to reduce the pitch molt to maybe 0900. We're going to increase the roll to 5500. And the restriction, we're going to take away roll restriction. So reduce that to 5. Pitch, we're going to increase to, reduce to 3, but increase this to 7. All right. Okay. And let's see. That was a close one. All right, so roll feels significantly better. Pitch is still very light, so we're going to reduce that a bit more. Roll should always feel sort of scaled or tangential to the pitch of the aircraft. So if the roll feels right but the pitch doesn't, then you have to adjust the pitch to fit the overall roll capabilities, which is what we're doing now. What does the cockpit look like? It's actually pretty good. And landing. Very bad. But it allows for aerobatics. I guess that's okay. If I remember, this thing has weapon slots. Yes. Machine gun. Yeah. We don't care about that right now, though. Bring this back up. Pitch molt. Bring to 8. I can't believe I'm doing this, but we might have to reintroduce the form lift and some pitch stabilize too. Let's say 400. I'll say 350. And then this way we'll have some lift, but we can also add some something else. All right, restart. I forgot to release this. This has been ready for a long time. I'll show you what that looks like in a sec. Duster 2 here. Let's see. Alright, it's V1. Give me something here. Seems I can't take off without taxiing to the side, which is very annoying. Okay, this is exactly why I hate F-pitch stabilize. Watch the nose. try it down. It's stupid. It's like a bias to correct only when you're over pitched, sort of nose up, but not when you're over pitched nose down. It's stupid. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna get rid of it. I hate it. Should have never reintroduced that. We'll increase the form lift to 400. Let's increase it to 500. And then we will also reduce the pitch feels nice. The roll feels very constrained, so we're gonna actually reduce that roll constraint, that move resistance. We're gonna take it to 2. We're going to increase a little bit to 57. And we're going to try it again. All right. Some of you guys might be wondering, why default GTA aircraft? Well, that is because FiveM has a very specific, strict policy on vanilla vehicles and intellectual property protection, which is its own conversation. It's stupid. But basically, until I can verify that the server won't get taken down for custom models, I'll have to depend on vanilla and vanilla-like modded vehicles, which is unfortunate, but we do what we can. Anyway. This thing is glued to the ground. Okay, now it's a bit too light. Actually, I can get used to it. I feel like it's still a little bit too light, though. Otherwise, it's nice. We need to introduce altitude loss during rolling, but otherwise, it's nice. Whoops. Jeez. Alright, that was weird. Anyway. Jeez. Do I have to increase it to 1500? We want to reduce the roll as well. We'll say 52. Love that color. Nope. Handling's bugged. Restart that. Okay. Oh, whoa. We have a concurrent viewer. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Right now, we are working on prepping for a server coming up called All Things Flight, which is aimed to be a bit of a sort of arcade style fun aircraft navigation, flight school, flight simulator based experience. The goal is to try to teach people flying in a fun environment where they can fly with friends and do all sorts of weird, crazy stuff on the side. Right now, I'm just working on a couple of handlings for planes to make them less like GTA and more like actual planes that follow rules of fluid dynamics and laws of physics and whatnot. But yeah, if you have any questions about the server, what we're doing, why, feel free to ask. Otherwise, enjoy your stay, however long it may be. Cool. So, roll profile feels good. Pitch feels great, actually. Only thing we have to worry about now is the landing profile, which ideally we should be thrust idle over the runway and let the aircraft come to a stall point on its own. I did not like that at all. I did not like that. But that's due to the model body. So let's readjust it to 10. Maybe we'll increase this to 2500 form lift. If you're curious what I'm working on the side, it's basically this. These lines here, this is what, 30-something line, essentially defines what the aircraft's handling profile is going to look like. It's called handling.meta. Yeah, it basically describes the soul of the aircraft. So that's what I'm working on the side. And yeah, see, we're gonna restart that. And let's do Duster 300H one more time. And see if it's bugged. Nope, not bugged. Do a cutesy little taxi here. Nice and pretty. Yeah, whatever. Alright, let's see what we got. Not a V1 yet. Alright, V1 here. And rotate. Beautiful. Whoa. That sound was the wheels actually skidding off of the runway lights there. Just funny. Okay, I like this, but we should reduce the form lift, or increase the form lift and reduce the attack lift even more here. Ugh. Also add some rotational restriction to the x-axis. Also, I'll take that from 10 to 7. We'll take this from 25 to 30. And I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and bring her in. Oh, right, the yaw. Reduce the side slip angle. And release some of the stabilize. Side slip is stupid. It's too high. And the stabilize we'll take from 1100 to 800. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and land this bad boy. Little illegal short final here. And the brake power has to be reduced as well. Okay. Okay. Restart the handling and duster one more time. Okay. Nowhere near V1. There we go. Beautiful. As we idle. It's not bad. Whoop. Right, the yaw. Yaw is fine. Still reducing the side slip, that's too much. Let's take it down by half. Down to 10. And we will go ahead and stall out. Let's try to recover. Oof. Not good enough. Alrighty. Let's see. Pitch, let's reduce the pitch a bit more. And the form lift as well, the lift profile. Reduce that also. Increase this to 3200. Let's see. Alright. Grab another sip of coffee here. Hold on. Alrighty. Let's see. Hopefully my voice is not too loud. I'm gonna adjust the volume just a touch. If it's too loud, feel free to call it out in chat. Alright, so let's see. Speed's live. Let's go V, or not V1, but okay. Let's do a little bit of aerobatics here. Beautiful. Oh, she's lovely. Let's do an idle speed landing test here. Oh, it's perfect. Oh. Oh, geez. No, it's perfect. Yeah, it's good as well. Oh, yeah. So this is what I like to call balanced, actually. It's pretty even toned, you know. Jeez. That's stupid. Looks almost cinematic. Cool. So there's one more value, which is a hidden value, which Rockstar doesn't use in any of their vehicles that we found, called extra lift with roll. Which, if you've been to any of our previous streams, you'll know that we love this value because it allows you to lose altitude when you're doing rolls or roll-like maneuvers. which is awesome because it adds a touch more realism to the handling profile. Now, what about let's take a look at the suspension. The Vestra is my favorite. Suspension force 2.5, 1.4, 1.2, 0.5, negative 1.7. Suspension. Upper limit. 0.25. Should be good. Let's see. Right, I crashed. I want a bit of bouncy suspension. So see what we got here. That's nice. 0.5. We want maybe a little bit more. So we will change that to 3, maybe. See if that's enough. The upper limit here. Don't know if you guys could tell the difference, but notice the sponginess of the tires when we bounce. See how it sort of absorbs some shock there? We want to increase that. We want a little bit more shock absorption. For an example of the ideal for me, actually, even better, hold on. Start E145. The Embraer, or the Embraer, or whatever the heck, I don't know. Sounds French. EC145. That one was made by Recon. He nailed the suspension on it. Let's see. I'll spawn that in just so you guys can see what that looks like. E145 is probably my second favorite vehicle. So watch the suspension here. It's beautiful. It's like it's a little bouncy, but it's like a perfect representation of sort of the weight behind the vehicle. You want to sort of represent the weight accurately. So something like that is, I love that. So let's go back in, respawn the good old Duster 2 here, and let's see. Not a fan. It's missing some, a little bit of bounciness. So maybe we can, I'm thinking we increase the rebound damp, and we reduce the yeah. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Restart. Alrighty. Let's see. A little better. Kinda hard to tell. Not sure if that even changed anything, but let's keep going. 2, 1.4. Let's set this to 2.1. Alrighty, there's that. Let's go ahead and... Oh, it's much better. Still missing something. I might just grab the entire value, 251412. let's go ahead and clear that. Duster 2. Lovely. Suspension. 025. Bear with me, almost done here, guys. 1.4. Suspension rebound is 1.2. Upper limit is 0.5. And lower limit is 1.07. Let's see. Alrighty, so we are going to restart the handling here again. Oops. Okay. Beautiful. It's a little bouncy, but we can increase the strength as well back to 4.5. I think that'll help us with how bouncy that is. Let's see. There's the duster. I like it. Could be improved, but I won't spend too much time on that. Steering lock, we're going to increase to 90 degrees. For those curious, the steering lock is how far the back wheel turns. So right now it's set at 35, which is 35 degrees. If you'll notice, if you're math-eyed, then you'll see that that is pretty much 35 degrees from where the turning is. Brake force we will reduce as well, down to what, 15? Something like that. And I think that's it for this plane. It's pretty much done. Let's just double check all the values here. Yeah, it's well balanced. Not to toot my own horn here, but it is a very well balanced plane, both in terms of the vehicle itself and how it lines up with the ecosystem of other aircraft. Also, you'll notice wheel goes to 90 degrees, which is cool because if you go here all the way, you'll notice the plane can't really move because of the traction of the back wheel. But if you were to start moving to the side and then you increase it, you'll notice you still get a little bit of that 90-degree rotation here, to which we can increase and reduce on command. All right, let's see. So let's get up to speed here. It's full takeoff power. Let's rotate. Nothing. There we go. I don't like how stiff or how unstiff the roll axis is actually, now that I mention it. So we'll readjust that just a touch. Increase this to maybe 3, and the roll multiplier we will reduce down to 5,000. But other than that, she is beautiful. Alrighty. Okay. And one more time for the road here, just to make sure. just to make sure. Okay. All right, let's go. We're V1. Beautiful. Do some maneuvers here. Little wing touch. And as you idle the plane, no matter what your pitch is, you will see, come on, come on. Maybe I'll just air brake instead. We are losing altitude at a gradual rate. Oh. I got tripped. I got tripped in an aircraft. That's wild. Yeah, the only thing I don't like is the form lift molt. And we will just add some damage also to, where is it? Deformation, engine, collision damage. Yeah. Weapon damage, we'll maybe say 1, 2. Deformation damage, we'll say... Deformation damage, we will say... Deformation. Yeah, we'll increase that to 5. Cool. She's ready. So, what we will do now is I'm going to take a quick break from gaming to game. Let's pull out the buzzard. I have to figure out how, but I'm basically going to minigame. I forgot about the Kanata. We're going to turn one of the scenarios here into a minigame, which is basically the invasion of this particular facility. Which... Helicopters, albino buzzard, spawn it in. I made some adjustments to the aircraft's ability to tank damage or to tank rounds. But this is actually like something that's really kind of fun, which is invading this area and then firing off a few shots. That's going to aggro each of these peds. And basically the goal is to try to survive while taking out as many of the Merryweather agents as possible. Like that. I don't know if this is going to be like a training for a military module or something, but there's a kill. Basically trying to see how many rounds you could tank while taking out as many goons as possible. So you notice the back of my engine is smoking out, but I still have good control. This is where we go into basically level 2, where it gets sort of more intense. You have to shoot through pillars and between buildings and all that good stuff. So you have a lock, but I'm not going to lock. That's kind of cheating. Oh, lost engine power. Still alive though. It's a kill. And you have to try to stay balanced while inside. So your brain is basically multitasking between balance and attacking. Oh, no. And there's the alert. Vehicle health is critical. Oh, so this is where we try to escape. And yeah, maybe you get like a score for doing something like that, like how many people you could take out, how long you survived, how many obstacles you crashed into. That stuff is all quantifiable with code, with existing code too, which is cool. Let's go ahead and repair this bad boy and get out of here. There we go. But yeah. It's hard to not forget about you heli pilots as well. I'm gonna make sure you guys get the love you deserve as well when it comes to activities to do. But yeah. Let's see. Sort of put this bad boy down somewhere. Put it down in this hangar. There we go. Oops. And you just bring her down gently. Alright, cool. So let's see. Yes. So one of the things that I did also want to get working today was basically it's like a continuation of the AI script, which I was able to fix, by the way, due to some weird behavior with the natives. I will show you what that looks like now. I don't know why it locked into that first person like that. That was weird. Interesting. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so I will show you what that looks like now. We will... enable the AI mod, or the AI script. Start AI and plane test, and we want to be a passenger, so true, and let's pick out the... I want to say Vestra. No, let's do Luxor. That work. Maybe wrong order. There we go. Yes. All right. So, pilot's going to try to drive to a certain speed or fly to a certain speed. And he should lift off any minute. Okay. All right. Let's try that again. Maybe we'll do a 737 this time. One more time, let's see. Here we go, here we go. There we go, should be lifting off. Awesome. Sheesh. Well, liftoff was supposed to be a little bit earlier, but whatever. And there's supposed to be a left-sided bank here. Once this reaches 0, that is. Come on. Which is weird. It's supposed to be a more aggressive bank. Let's see. Client native. Yeah. Wheel probes. I swear it's the height map optimization. Let's restart it and try one more time. Oop, jeez. 239, let's see. Do you want 240? Yeah, I guess so. 240.0. Restart, and let's do Titan. True. Maybe not, maybe 239.8. 39.8. Point is, when we reach a certain speed, we should be taking off, but doesn't like me for some reason. We can try it maybe with a Vestra or a Luxor. Try it one more time. I'm guessing it's a build thing, a build number thing. I was before on build, oh yeah, there's the pullback. But for some reason the plane's not lifting off the ground. Interesting. Yeah. Let me go ahead and, part of me wants to kill the server so we can enable build 2944. Speed. Take off speed. One sec. Sorry about that. I am back. Just exploring some old code here. Trying to see if there is... Trying to see if there is any changes to the actual code itself I should do. Let's see. It's the only thing I could think of. It's just adjusting how steep the plane does its thing. But yeah, I fixed both of these, this and the AI test script, which I will show you that in a second as well. Let's do the Shamal here. Let's see what we got. At a certain speed, he should be yanking that yoke back. There we go. And yet nothing. That could also be a handling thing. Let me kill my client session and I'll restart handling and then we'll try again. Restart handling. Beautiful. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Let's take a look. We will go back in and say /plane test. We'll do a Nimbus, and we will say true. Should have reloaded the, or this should have reloaded the vehicle handlings. There's pullback. No takeoff. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, we'll have to switch builds in here. Let's go ahead and kill the server. We'll go back into build 2944, which let's kill the server, rm rf cache. We will say 2944. And get some errors because we can't connect to the DB. That's okay. Stop core dash login. Stop turbulence. Okay. Hello there. This is related to the game GTA, whoever you are. Thanks for stopping by. We're doing some fun little flight simulator building here. Okay, so we're switching the builds here, 2944. And we're going to test out our autopilot navigation script. And figure out why it's not working. Okay. Let's see. do the thing here. All right, we are spammed here, so let's kill some of these. Stop flight school interior, stop turbulence, of course. Stop test AI, though we will need that in a sec. Okay, and let's kill Tola and Tola test client server. Cool. Alrighty, so let's also double check the weather here. Disable dynamic. Okay. Start AI. Okay. And we'll say plane test, right? And Titan and true. Let's see. There's vehicle. Awesome. So what we should expect to see is the plane's going to get to takeoff speed. They're going to rotate back. They're going to make an ascending left turn, and then they're going to. There we go. So it is related to the build. That's so annoying. We'll figure out why later, I guess. Anyway, so there's our descent. There's our ascending left turn there. Beautiful. By the way, this is not controlled by me at all. This is completely programmed, right? So we'll start doing a bit of a left turn. And we're basically going to navigate to 2 or 3 different waypoints. So I'll do waypoints on. So we're going to make a left turn to, I believe, heading 0. Oh, maybe not. We're just going to crash and burn. Which I figured out is actually because of one of the natives. So I'm going to go disable that actually. Let me see. Let's do undo. We'll go into native. We'll disable them both. And let's restart the resource here. Okay. And we'll use a different plane. Let's do the 737 MAX 9. Okay. So, same deal. We get up to speed. There's our rotation, beautiful. There's our climbing left turn. Not too shabby. We should do a transition any moment here into a level left turn. Let's see. Okay. Good. Looking good so far. All right. Perfect. Okay, this is what it should be doing. This is exactly right. So we do a right turn. We adjust our heading to match the first waypoint here, which is, let's see, show coordinates. Around 270, maybe 280. Perfect. And then, so this is called a fly-over waypoint, and a fly-over waypoint basically means you fly directly into or over a certain spot on the map, and then you make your turn to the next spot, and then you make your turn to the next spot, and then you make your turn to the next spot. And I made this really just to demonstrate that to myself that I could make this, or that we could basically enable some sort of fly-over waypoint navigation. But he actually missed the the waypoint. Actually, no, I guess I made the threshold good enough. Yeah, so we can actually do point-to-point navigation, which is good, but that's not the only kind of navigation there is, right? When you're doing VFR, you fly slightly different. When you're doing runway alignment, you fly slightly different, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But at least, you know, it somewhat works at this point. We should do one more turn. I haven't programmed it for the last waypoint, but this is basically just static navigation. You'll see that level out maneuver sort of readjusted us, so also more things I have to adjust for. But that's okay. We will fix it. But what I was trying to say was that I want to enable a couple of sort of bare bones scripts, just so that when you guys do join for the first time, you'll have some fun little side activities other than just formation flying with friends or buddies. So one of them I'm going to actually, and that's the end of this program, by the way. So I'll just bail out of there and let him go into the sunset. Nah, I'm gonna shoot him down. Can't let this go to waste. It's a perfectly good GTA civilian. Let's do... I normally do a laser, but let's do something like... Let's do a Molotov. No, but yeah, I want to have basically an assortment of planes just doing basically this, just navigating around the map that you can interact with, fly to, fly around, just to sort of fill the airspace, just so that it's not just GTA players, not just players, but it's actually like other entities flying around the map. I am going way too fast. Oh, did he stop? Oh, nope. Goodbye. Oh, it's anticlimactic. Anyway, yeah, so the goal is to have some sort of aircraft navigating around the map, basically 24/7, which is a challenge in its own because entities have to be owned by a player, but if there's no players online, I still want that entity to be sort of circling the map. So I have ideas to get around that, but basically what I want to work on today, or for now, is that bare bones path navigation flying thing, which is basically going to be like fly to this point. It's exactly what you saw. Fly to this point, then turn, then fly to this point, then turn, then fly to this point, then turn, then fly to this point, then turn. So yeah, we're basically going to do that. And hopefully that works out just fine. I did not enable the maps. Oh well, that's fine. Okay, so first step is basic. We just have to get 3 sort of points on the outskirts of the map. I will pick 3 points at random. So this point would be a good one. I'll actually have to make some notes here, so bear with me while I pull out the good old notepad. Waypoint. Listing. WP1, we'll say X is 3647.98. Y is 7502.39, and Z or Z is 266.81. Cool. And we'll also give it a designated direction as well. So this is, what is this, northeast corner of the map? Northeast corner. So now we'll go renavigate to the northwest corner and rinse and repeat. This is negative 17. O2.94. This is 74. That's X, sorry. Y is 7436.09. And Z is 1266.81. Awesome. Waypoint 3. That's going to be annoying. I'll just teleport there. Teleport locations. Perfect. And we want basically the southwest side, so something like this. Beautiful. Waypoint 3, negative 4199.54 for the X value. For the Y value is negative 3206.32, and Z is, we'll make it the same as the other two, 1266.81. And waypoint 4, last but not least. Let's re-teleport back, and we'll go to the southwest, or east side of the map here. Beautiful. And we will write these coordinates down as well. Okay. Okay, so waypoint 4x is 2688.38. Waypoint 4y is negative 4422.08. Waypoint 4z is the same as all of them, 1266.81. Cool. So, first step here, while we have these sort of coordinates on the side, is to effectively, this is an old mod, so please feel free to roast my source code. Basically, we're going to create these as variables in our borders script already. So our waypoint script, in the wrong script. Was it? Waypoints. No, this is... No, this is not the right script. Let me find that. Bear with me. We'll go, what is it? grep RWI. That. And the search term E is... waypoints. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I guess that is the one. The file. Cool. All right, so we will go into waypoints and client Lua, and basically we're going to add. Let's get rid of this line here. We're going to add some constants, which are the I can't English right now. The coordinates of the waypoints that we wanted to add. And for that, we're basically going to be utilizing the 5M native reference, draw marker, just so that you guys know what I'm looking at or talking about. This is basically the draw marker function. It allows us to see all of those points on the map. It actually also allows us to see the large border that I created in the background here. So we're gonna just give this function the coordinates. Also make it a different color, like red or something, just so that we can differentiate between the two. So let's do that right now. We'll call this, we'll say waypoint nav wp1 equals vec3 nav wp2 equals vec3 nav p3 equals vec3, And last but not least, nav p4 equals vector3. This is basically where we just toss in the coordinates of the, goodness, sorry, not windowsing right now. Cool. Let's toss in the coordinates of the individual waypoints. And that. We just rinse and repeat. Negative that. Actually, now that I think about it, we're actually probably going to need to set that waypoint z as 0, just so we're not just so we're not making any mistakes on the height of the waypoint here. All right, that's set. Waypoint 3 is this guy here. Just copy that over. 0. Lovely. 1, 2, and 3. Cool. So basically how this script works is we have a command that's entered by or created by this register command. And when we pass the on switch, so waypoints command space on, it'll basically set the flag to true. And when the flag is true, we have a thread in here that's constantly doing this draw marker operation. Now, this is very old code, and this is probably a very terrible way to do this, but freaking sue me, I guess, you know. Cool. So with that said, we'll add another comment. We'll say navigation markers. Navigation markers. And I'm going to have the draw marker native here on the side, just so I know what function is what. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll say draw marker. And the first argument is always going to be the marker type, which I will show you what that looks like here. List of markers. So you'll see the markers that I have here are cylindrical in nature. That's marker type 1. If we wanted cones, you guys have seen this. If you've played GTA before, you've seen this through various races and missions and indicators. This is basically the native that's used to render these. So we're basically going to draw them. Let's do marker type 1. I'll bring this back over here so I can look at it on the side. So draw marker, marker type 1. We're going to set the coordinates as nav wp1, which also, this should be vector 3, not vec3. Vector 3, vector 3, vector 3, and vector 3. Okay. So now we'll set it as nav waypoint 1, and there's like a cool sort of unpacking that happens here. We have a vec3 of all zeros, which the next values are the, what is it? You have type, you have the float, the positions, you have the directions, you have the rotations, and then you have the scale. All of those are vector 3s. And because we really don't care about those, what I'll do is I'll go to the top of the file here, and I will make another vector called zvec. zvec, which stands for 0 vector. Vector 3, 0, 0, 0. Awesome. So this is our position. We also have to give an XYZ for the direction, so we'll call it zvec. We also want the vector for the rotation, zvec, and a vector for the scale, which the scale we will match the other ones. We'll make it 50. 50.0 or something like this. What is this? 50, 50, 3000. In fact, we can actually go up here and say CVec. We can go up here and say marker scale equals vector 3, 50.0, 50.0, and 3000. Cool. CVec. Lovely. And we will go ahead and just paste these in. We want marker scale. Marker scale, so there's that. Now we give it the color. So I want it to be red, just because. So we'll make it 255 on R. We'll make it 0 on blue or green, and then 0 on blue. That's RGB, in case anyone is curious about that. The alpha is how bright we want the marker. And let's see. Bob up and down, we don't care about that. We'll make it false. False bob. And I think that's it. We don't really care about anything else. So what we'll do is we will reset our waypoints script, and we should see over there in the corner a new marker in red. 1, 2, and 3. Oh. Missed something. Oh, no, I didn't. I just didn't turn it on. The waypoints on. There we go. Beautiful. So there is our handy dandy first marker. And because this is pretty much a template, we could just copy this and paste it. The only difference is we have to replace the positions with new ones, nav WP1. So now we just replace 2, 3, and 4. Lovely. So restart one more time, and we will see that I wrote the coordinates down wrong. But that's okay. Let's see what I missed here. So waypoint 1, 31, 72, that's good. 17, 74, 36, that's good. Waypoint 3, negative 302. What? Oh no, they're correct except for this one, which is the last one. 26, negative 4. What did I miss? Oh, duh. Jeez. 1 second. Goodness gracious. Sorry about that. I missed the coordinates. You'll see here, waypoint 4 is 268,838, and y is negative 422. I just put 1266 for some reason, so we will replace that. That's actually the z value. I don't know why I copied the z value, but whatever. Alrighty. Cool. Awesome. So that's our first step. That's our first step, and we're actually also going to need these in our planes navigation script, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and we will toss it into our notepad here, just so we have it. Okay, let's go ahead and restart it, and when we turn it on, we should have one right there. Beautiful. It's super bright, so it could be a little bit disorienting. That's the alpha. We'll have to fix that later. But we basically have a template. So now we just need to figure out, we'll spawn the vehicle. We'll figure out where we're going to spawn the vehicle. Obviously, we could spawn it at waypoint 1 or something. Have the plane fly straight into the heading of, let's say, I don't know, from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2. So this far right one to this far left one. Then once it passes it, it'll make a turn and change the heading to this particular waypoint. And then finally, it'll make a final turn and pass over this particular waypoint. It'll just keep circling. So the question is, well, there's a couple of questions. Which vehicle do we want to use? Which, let's go through a couple of the aircraft that we have. I usually like something big just because if you're flying through as a player, you want to be able to spot it yourself and then fly to it and interact with it. So we could do something like a cargo plane, or maybe cargo plane or a jet. Yeah, maybe a jet would be cool. That's hopefully not as loud as it is for me. Anyway, yeah. So maybe we'll do a jet. Ooh, a miljet actually. Yeah, I like the idea of a miljet, but it's not that big. Or Titan. Yeah, either jet, miljet, or Titan. Okay, so that's step 2. So step 3 is basically going to be creating a vehicle to spawn basically right here. Right here on this red waypoint. Why I'm navigating there manually, I'll never know. Let's make it daytime as well. Beautiful. Freeze the time here. That is so disorienting. Jeez, I'll change the alpha of that. That's gonna like give me a headache. What is it? RGB alpha 75. That's fine. That might be too light, but let's do 100. Okay. One more time. Oh, much better. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So, now that we have that, let's figure out how we're going to spawn that in, which I think I have a code template that I use for basically loading the vehicle in memory and spawning it. I'm going to go ahead and grab that, which is in the AI script. Test AI. Oh. Test AI and client and function. Fly straight, prep pad, prep vehicle, prep vehicle. Yes. So we're also, along with what we have here as chords, get rid of this. Oh, we'll keep it just in case and make good notes. What we'll have here, bear with me. What we'll have is basically this guy, which is a function that takes a vehicle name as an argument, and basically it tries to load the vehicle into memory. And once it's loaded in memory, then it's able to create the vehicle. So, sorry, headphones are hurting my ears. So that's basically what we're going to do. And I'm thinking we should we return? Let me see. CD image prep vehicle. Yeah, no, we don't need to. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Oh yeah, we'll also have to create it and create the ped inside the vehicle. Oh gosh, okay. Let me grab the function for that as well. Prep ped. And we'll do that, set ped number. And we'll grab that too, just for your eyes and mine. So basically the same thing. We are essentially just figuring out what ped to load in memory, and we're going to be utilizing that. And prep ped. I can't remember. What is it? SMM? Let me grab the name of the ped here. GTAV ped list. Ped models. Pilot. All right, so that's what we want. Ped model equals that. We have ped to use as an argument. And we will be utilizing that. And let's grab the create vehicle stuff here. So that's our spawn vehicle and our spawn ped. And what we're going to do is we're essentially going to set blocking of non-temporary events. So this is a function that basically makes the ped a dumb one, for lack of a better word. This essentially just makes the guy who's flying the plane completely controllable by code. Naturally, by default, peds have their own behavior. So let me save this location. Nav to P1. So for example, if we go to some random town or random area here, where's the ped? Give me a ped here. Perfect. Okay. So we take this random ped here right below us, right? And let's say we drop a plane literally right on him. Or not literally, but you'll see they exhibit certain behaviors, right? They're scared, they're walking away, they're running away, kind of scared. They don't know what's going on. This sort of behavior is sort of programmed into the into the pedestrians, so that they basically have a sort of self-preservation mechanism, which is cool, right? Like it's makes for realistic gameplay. But when we're making peds that we need to be stupid and just do whatever we say, or when Rockstar needed to do it, for example, they have natives like this set blocking of non-temporary events, basically to prevent them from acting normal. So in normal circumstances in the air, if something weird happens, let's say a player flies up to him and shoots the plane, normally he would try to evade, right? He would bob and weave and go left and go right and whatever. But yeah, in this case, we don't want that. We want him to be an idiot. So with that said, we're basically going to continue on. Let's see. Okay, so let's go back. And we are actually going to make a new directory, a new resource. And we're going to call this something like pre-alpha navigation or pre-alpha flyby or something like that. Victor pre-alpha flyby. Okay, so we'll want to go in pre-alpha flyby, copy the AI test or test AI FX manifest into here. See what we're working with here. We'll rename this pre-alpha flyby script. Awesome. Basic client.lua. Actually, we might rename this. Let's call this flyby1.lua. Copy that. And then, right. Touch first, make sure this exists. Awesome, cool. So now we have our flyby script. What we are going to do is basically get the plane rendered. So we'll start off with our constants here. Let's see, what ped model? Constant ped model. Naturally, we'll say vehicle def vehicle equals Titan, because why not? We also want our waypoints as well, so we'll toss in our nav waypoints. Navigation waypoints. And okay. So we'll want to load it in memory. So we'll make this function here. Prep vehicle, and we'll make another one called prep ped. And one more end here. And we'll want to do a register command, at least for now, just so we can kind of control it. So we'll do something like register command, which takes that, source args. And then we'll make the command name call it, I don't know, we'll call it something like flyby or fly around. I think that works. Command equals, oops, replace mode. Command equals fly around. Cool. And then we'll get rid of this. We'll just call it command. Awesome. And then I believe we also have to pass it a function handler, which is ended here. So now we'll say, just so that we know that this works, we'll do something like hello world. Cool. Okay, so for anyone curious, we basically want to refresh the package cache. We'll start pre-alph flyby. Beautiful. So far it works. There's no sort of syntactical errors here, which is good. Jeez, sorry about that. So basically, when I do /flyaround, I should get the response "Hello World" in chat as a response. So let's see if that works. Fly around. I can already see it's not suggesting it as a command versus other scripts. So register command. Oh, there's no source. That's right. Duh. Source is for server scripts, if I remember correctly. So let's restart that one more time. Restart. Yeah, I am missing a syntax here. One sec. Set vehicle forward speed, client Lua. Oh, duh. Wrong order. So function source, comma args. Been a while since I've registered commands. No problem, we'll fix that. Command, comma function handler, and inside the function handler you need source args. That would explain why it's complaining. There we go. Now it's not. try fly around here. Sharp crab 403. Excuse me? It's weird behavior. Double check. I think I am missing one more thing here. Unless print now prints. No, that wouldn't make sense. Print shouldn't print to. Yeah. Let me grab this. We'll just grab it. Yeah, it looks correct. Source comma args. Then whatever your logic is. Yeah. Which is odd. Let's do this. We'll stop pre-alpha flyby. Refresh one more time. Start pre-alpha flyby. All right. Let's see what we're working with here. Okay, so you have register command. We have the command fly around. And then, just for the heck of it, we'll also print hello world, and we'll print args at index 1, which is going to be whatever we throw in after the spacebar. So let's try it. Fly around 1. There we go. Perfect. We have hello world. I didn't restart that, so it's not going to show us the arguments. Fly around 1. There we go. Cool. Beautiful. So that's working. So what we want to do now is, instead of hello world, we're basically just going to do prep vehicle or prep vehicle, prep ped, and we're basically going to do the create vehicle as well. Which let's grab. Yeah, we'll have to watch or grab the whole native. One thing at a time. Okay, anyway. So ideally you're going to want to toss in, I don't know, if I'm running this, well, on the server, it's going to run automatically. It's going to say, as soon as the server starts up, we're going to have a plane sort of circling the map. But for test purposes, we'll say maybe create the vehicle. Yeah, just a vehicle name, honestly. So we'll say something like if args at index 1 is not equal to, or is null. So there's two ways to write that, which is equals nil, or the shorthand is if not args1. Then what we'll say is print, we'll say error. We need a vehicle name. Else. And then we will load our stuff in memory, which I think. Okay, cool. So we already have the checks here, whether or not the vehicle is a valid vehicle in the function itself. So we'll do that, load the vehicle. Instead of passing in this random variable, we're going to pass in args at index 1. And ped to use, we're going to pass in ped model, which I have to fix really quickly by making it a string. So now whenever we launch this command, it's basically just going to load the vehicle and the model in memory. It's not going to do anything with it. It's not going to spawn it. It's not going to create it. It's not going to any of that fun stuff. But that's where we fix this. So we'll also end this here, just so that it's syntactically correct. And we'll do our handy dandy, lovely create vehicle native, which we will spawn at our handy dandy coordinates. And we will say we're going to need a vehicle to create. So, well, we should just be able to use args1. Let's do args1, and we will say, let's see, create vehicle. Client. So let's see what create vehicle needs. It needs a model hash. It needs the location where you want to spawn it, right? Your X, your Y, your Z, which we have, right? Remember, waypoint, nav waypoint 1. We're going to use that. We need a heading, which we can gather that. There's a way to mathematically gather it, and I'll show you guys in a sec. And then we want bool is network and bool net mission entity. So let's go ahead and utilize just that. We'll split screen this bad boy. And because 5M does magic unpacking, we don't have to tell it XYZ. We could just say, hey, give it this nav waypoint 1. We want a heading. For now, we'll just make the heading something that's kind of right. Let's see. A 40, sure, why not? 45, 45.7. 45.7. We will also make it, let's see. What are we missing? Heading is network. We want a networked entity. And mission net entity, whether to register the vehicle as pinned to the script host in the Rockstar network model. Sure. We kind of want persistence. This isn't the way to get persistence, but we'll just set it as persistent as this native allows us to do, basically. Now, by the way, persistence meaning whenever you're away from the vehicle or not near the vehicle, it's still doing its thing. It's still flying around. We still want that. Cool. So now we will create a handy dandy pedestrian or ped or an AI character, which we can say, what is it? Create ped inside vehicle, which will take an argument of spawned vehicle, SPV. Let's take a look at that native actually, because I don't remember exactly what this is asking for. Create ped inside vehicle. Ped type. Ped type. Okay. 5M ped types. No, that's a ped model. Unless that's what they're asking for. Ped type 24. Yeah, ped type is an integer. What is ped? Whatever. You know what? We will just take it and copy it over. We have -1 for an argument. We have true. We will utilize that. So what is that? 24 for the ped type. Don't ask me why. The ped to use, which is not going to be the ped to use. It's actually going to be the prepped ped, which will say ped model. We want the seat, -1. -1 seat index means driver seat. Anytime you're working with GTA code and you want to reference the driver seat, -1 is this guy. The passenger side is 0. And then anything else after that is 1, 2, 3, 4, up to infinity. Or however many seats there are. And then networked and scripted, true, cool. So now we should have something that spawns a vehicle and spawns a ped inside the vehicle. But we are missing some things. And I will let you guess what those things are by spawning it and letting you observe. Okay. Waypoints on. there's our handy dandy waypoint. We will say fly around, and we'll say the vehicle name, we'll do Titan here. And we get an error. No, we just didn't restart the resource, duh. Let's restart it. Now we might get an error here, by the way, but that's okay. Errors are good. Pre-alf fly by. Errors mean we know what's wrong. Okay. Fly around, Titan. Let's see. Oh, you see that? If you didn't, I'll restart it one more time so that you can. And I'll get a little closer just for you. If you've seen the Titanic. No, I'm joking. So basically what we need to do, one of the problems is that the vehicle, that the location that we're spawning the vehicle at has a Z coordinate of 0, right? So this is where we actually do care about the Z. When we were making the waypoint, we didn't care about the Z, 1266.81, but now we do. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. Do that, do that, do that, and do that. Cool. So let's go ahead and fly back up to 12 something something something. And let's do it again. Hello there. Look at that. We have a working spawn. Now, what else is wrong with this? For one, the engine's not running. The plane's not moving. So we'll have to fix that as well. It's also facing the wrong direction. We'll need to fix that as well. And we need to make sure that the vehicle is going forward into the direction of the next waypoint. So let's fix all 3 of those. First things first, let's fix the heading, which we can do mathematically. That's right. Let's see. Grab bar WI E G D H. There is a function, yes, that I was talking about previously. All right. Airport manager, yes. Yes. So there's a function called getPointInDirectionH, which lets you get a point in the direction. We actually don't care about that. That's different. GetPointInDirectionH, basically, still a cool function, by the way, but basically it just lets you, let's say you're looking north. Let's say you're standing in California, right? Let's say you're standing on top of whatever mountain this is, and you're looking north, and you say, I want to know where the value or where the location is 200 meters in front of me. That's what the getPointInDirectionH function is. We don't necessarily want that. We want something slightly different. So what we'll do is we'll say get heading from 2 vectors or 2 coordinates. So there's longitude, Earth's radius, my goodness. Angle between 2. There is a simple function. X and Y are 2 points. Can we calculate this? Not necessarily. I believe it's 2. Let's do 2 vectors. Change diff to get all the differences at once. Two 1 minus 1. Jeez. The thing I love and hate about math is that there are very simple and elegant solutions to problems, and then there are very convoluted, like very excessive answers to problems as well. I believe it's something along these lines. Heading angle, subject. Let's try it. Let me rephrase the question. Calculate heading from vector 1 to vector 2. From 2 points. 2 points. BA10. Varying from points as x and y, two quantities can be calculated as x. Take an example. Gotcha. What can be calculated as that? Times sin delta. A10 to xy. I swear there was a more simplistic, whatever. Okay, I'll just approximate. I'll find it later. That's so annoying. So that is about 91 degrees, 91.45. So let's go back into our lovely resource. And in our create vehicle native, we want a heading of 94.75, I think it was. 91.45, goodness numbers. 91.45, awesome, cool. So now we restart it. We'll do Titan. Perfect. Though they're falling to their demise, they're doing so in the right direction. Lovely. Perfect. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to basically do a couple of things. We want to set the engine on, vehicle engine. We want to set the vehicle forward speed, right? Make the ped dumb. Make the ped dumb, which we should probably do before this. And then we also want to retract the landing gear also. That's important. Retract landing gear. Awesome. All of these have their very own natives, so we will be using those. So first things first, set vehicle engine. Set vehicle engine on. Lovely. Set vehicle engine on. what we'll do is we will call it for the vehicle, the spawn vehicle. We have to set the value, on being true, off being false, as you can see. So we'll set it to true. We'll set whether or not we want this to be instantly enabled or if we want the engine to spool, which is a bool value as well. And disable auto start, which we will also set to true, which means that if anything happens to the engine, the pilot won't try to start the vehicle up again. So that's the engine side. Let's go ahead and set the vehicle forward speed as well. Vehicle forward speed. Was it here? Get heading. Yes. Yes. Thank you. This was the heading formula right in front of me the whole time. So delta X, delta Y, which I'll calculate that. Let's see, we could do that in a print statement on the side here. Print, get heading from vector 2D. Get heading from vector 2D, where inside here we give it dx and dy, which is x1 minus y2, or x1 minus x2. So nav wp1.x minus nav wp2.x, comma, and then we want the y's as well. So same thing, 1.y minus 2.y, 2.y. Goodness, I swear I can type. Cool. And we'll even say something like exact heading is, comma that. Cool. So we should also have now a print statement, the vehicle falling, but the engine should be set up properly. Let's see. There's our heading, which I think it's the wrong direction. Let me do a 180 here. Yes, yes it is, but that's okay. We can do, what is it? I think it's at 270. So 270, it's going to be 90. It's going to basically be 90. So 270. Could do is basically do something like this, minus 180, to get the approximate calculation here. Cool. So 90.709.899, blah, 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 blah. So we will use that as the official heading. Yeah, it's close enough. And restart it one more time. And we'll spawn in the Titan. There's the engine. And it's perfectly facing the direction too. If we're lucky, this thing will start moving forward, but maybe not. No. And that's okay. All right, so engine's good, landing gear. Let's do that too. Control landing gear, all right. Control landing gear, the vehicle itself, spawn V, and the state, which we want retracted, or not retracted, we want, actually, yeah, retracted. Cool. So there's that. And we also want to make the ped dumb, which is the blocking of all non-temporary events. Do that too. Thank you. And this is so that when we start doing tasks, the ped doesn't have his own mind or autonomy. We don't want that. No, we don't. And then last but not least, the vehicle forward speed, which that one's, you guys have seen that before. It's pretty straightforward. Set vehicle forward speed. So vehicle and forward speed in meters, which, if I remember correctly, Titan has about 145 miles an hour resting speed. So 145 mph to mps. It's like 60 something. Yeah, 64. So we want SPV and 64. Perfect. So now we restart this bad boy and we type in fly around Titan and he should fly straight forward. There he goes. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Alrighty, so he's actually not flying. This is just a result of a couple of different factors. One of which is that the aerodynamic body is in motion, right? The other is that the engine is actually operational. It's moving. It's functional. And the third is that there's a sufficient altitude. There's enough altitude for the vehicle to move to the next target. And the fact that we gave it a picture-perfect, super accurate heading means he should basically fly right to us with a little bit of maybe some altitude loss. Let's see. See if we wait long enough. There he is. There he blows. Just basically fly right into here. Let's see if he does. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. So that works, although he's not flying, which is fine. What we have to do now is we basically need to do a task plane mission. And this is where this gets fun. So let me pull up task plane mission here. Task plane mission. So maybe we can call this like chapter 3 of the navigation, but basically task plane mission is the engine that allows, no pun intended, that allows planes to be able to navigate. So you have the PED, the vehicle. If they're targeting a person or another PED, which could be a player, by the way, the target chord, the mission index, which is always 4 when you're doing regular flying missions, the cruise speed, which I hate this. I hate the cruise speed because it's statically set, but what can you do? Target reach distance, the heading, aka the orientation, the flight height, the minimum height above terrain, and the precision level, which I haven't seen this do what it says it's supposed to do, but I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. So what we'll do is we will go ahead and now I'm trying to think of the mechanism that we use to fly to this point. We can use a while loop. And what we could say is essentially while the coordinates, I'll do some pseudocode here just so you guys get what I'm trying to do. While chords of the start or chords of waypoint 2 are, I don't know, maybe 2 meters, less than 2 meters away from the plane itself. Do something. Do something, right? So let's see what that looks like from pseudocode to actual real code itself. So we have while, and we have count of operator in Lua, which is the number sign or hashtag. We'll say get entity chords of the spawn vehicle is or minus, I'm sorry, another numerical operator, nav waypoint 2. Then we say do something. So these are basically exactly the same, except this is shorthand and it actually is understandable by Lua, and this is understandable by non-clankers or non-robots or humans. So what we can do is let's do something annoying. It's in the while statement. We'll say we need a wait in here, and we'll print the word. Actually, what we could do is we can print the distance from next target, colon, comma, and then we could print the exact same thing, right? Let's get rid of this. This will cause it'll cause the client to crash. Or not the client to crash, it'll cause syntax errors. But basically, we're going to print out exactly what's going on, or how far the current existing vehicle is from the next waypoint. And then when we're done, we will print something like this. We'll say print done. Cool. So let's go ahead and restart. And we'll do fly around Titan. And I should add an option for, there he is. There it is. Look at it. Beautiful. I'll add an option so I can be a passenger so I'm not going back and forth. But there you go. You know the code is working. What? Jeez, maybe it's not. Oh, hold on. I think I got the logic a little bit messed up. I believe it's, yeah. No, the actual minus functionality should be inside of the count operator. So we're going to get rid of this stuff. And we're going to say nav WP2. There we go. This is why we test, so that we can find bugs. Okay. That should be better, though I don't trust it. That doesn't feel like it's 500 meters. Yeah. Let me see. I've done this before. It's been a while since I've done subtraction. Yeah, I haven't done subtraction in a long time. No, it's been a while since I've done this style of get distance between. Let's pull up the old Google. Get distance between 5M. There is a cfx.re. There's a forum here. Nope. Let's see. Hashtag. Yeah, vector 1 minus vector 2. Nav to waypoint 2. So it should be fine. The only way that wouldn't be fine is if the oh, that might actually be. The only way that shouldn't be fine is if the coordinates of the plane aren't matching. Coordinates of the plane aren't matching where it should be. Let's do this. Let me try something. Oops. We'll do .xy minus .xy. Oh, bear with me. That should give us what we're looking for. And we're also printing... Oh, you know what? Maybe that's why. Maybe you updated it one place but not the other. This is why variables are important, by the way. Let's do this. SP vehicle minus nav WP2. It's like, what's going on? Okay, and we also need a terminating parentheses. Cool. So let's go ahead and restart this. And one more time. Beautiful. That's what we want. 5,000. That's way more like it. And we are here. I'm actually going to eventually add some code here so that we're inside the vehicle. But for now, I'll just pull out the old A10 Warthog and make sure the code is coding here. 3,000 meters. Default time is meters just because Rockstar, you know. Let's see. Closing in on him. I'm air braking. Let's check the 1,000 meters. That's about right. If I'm shooting near him, normally he would freak out, so let's shoot near him. Looking good. Okay, and perfect. There she blows. Cool. So now we should have a message. Whoa. Alright. My logic is missing something here. Hold on. Yes. A distance. We need an actual distance to attribute this to. Where? Oh, there he is. Your services are no longer required. Oh, I missed. Jeez. Let's see. Okay. Come on. There we go. All right. So, as I was saying, let's see. So, while this distance is, we need a threshold. So, this is one of the challenges when you're worried about client server scripting, which is that it'll never be infinitesimally perfect. I'll tell you what I mean. Let's restart this. So when the CPU is running this script, right, it operates on something called CPU time. And the amount of CPU time and the performance of the CPU varies based on how many applications you're running in the background, right? So if you have a lot of sort of applications running, then the amount of frames, we'll call them, I don't know if you know, frames per second, you know, the amount of frames per second that the script will be able to register will not be as many as if it's a super beefy computer and FiveM is the only thing running. So with that said, one of the challenges is like when you're trying to do some sort of like marker-based navigation, you basically have a spectrum where on one side you have perfect accuracy. And, you know, perfectly replicable code, right? On the other end, you have not so perfect accuracy. And basically what this means is like, basically what this means is I can't say, for example, when the distance between, which, just to revisit, this is basically the distance between the vehicle and distance between waypoint 2. I can't say that when the distance between the vehicle and waypoint 2 is 0. I can't say 0. And the reason being is because it's never going to reach that perfect moment where it's equal to 0. And I'll kind of show you what that means really quickly. Let's what is that one thing? Into vehicle. Right? No. This guy, yes. Set ped into vehicle, yes. Set ped into vehicle. So we'll throw this here just as a sort of a temporary set ped into vehicle. The ped itself, which is my player, which is going to be -1 or source. The vehicle, which is going to be spv, and the seed index, which is going to be 0. Let's do it. So the ped, source, vehicle, spv, and the index as well, 0. Set ped into vehicle. So restart, fire on Titan. Did that work? Oh, it didn't. We can also do something like, what? Oh, that's right. This thing is glitched. You have to set it as like the first thing we do. Source equals source, print source. Just to make sure that the thing is doing the thing. Let me see, 5,000. Oh yeah, the source isn't even set. Jeez. Okay, so that would make sense as to why that's not doing it. So what we'll do is we'll say get, what is it? Stop using get player ped. Get player ped alternatives. 5M, get player ped alternatives. I think it's ped ID. Ah, jeez. Ped ID. Player ped ID. Thank you. Yes. So apparently this is faster, so we'll just use player ped ID. Faster by milliseconds, but who cares? Anyway, so we're going to restart, and this should allow us to spawn inside the vehicle as a passenger. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, and I'll go ahead and just copy one of these, and I'll toss it into a notepad. We'll have it sort of split view. As you can see, the script is doing a good job of catching the distance between our current vehicle, which is the Titan, and the next target, waypoint 2, which is the red marker in front of us. But if you look here, for those of you that are like curious people, or not curious, for those of you that, you know, see something off here, you're right? Like, how come we're getting 4837.980957.313 and not blah, 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 312 or blah, 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 314, right? And the answer to that is, once again, the CPU, the computer itself, will never be so fast to where it's catching every single frame. So if I were to say, if the distance between my current vehicle, right, this lovely, dovely Titan, and our marker is 0, you'll see that when I'll restart it, I'll stop this basically right when we get there so you can see it, but you'll see that we never reach exactly 0. And that's because, let's see, we never reach, oh, well, I probably did that a little too early, but we never reach exactly 0. And the reason being is because it's not, I guess it's the CPU, it's a part of life, I guess. It's a hard knock life, no. Yeah, like the CPU is never going to be strong enough or fast enough or powerful enough to where it's going to have every single frame of every single frame, basically. So there's ways to correct that, and I just realized there's a bug in our code because we're looking at the difference between a point in the air or two different z coordinates. So what we'll do is we'll just change this to .xy like I was going to do before, and .xy, and .xy. So long story short, the fix for that is essentially to just make the distance effectively something like the distance between the value something small. So like if it's less than, I don't know, say 2 meters, then we do X, Y, and Z. So rephrasing this, while the distance between our plane and the next waypoint is more than 2 meters, just caught a bug there, is more than 2 meters, then we wait and we print our distance between the next target. And there's two ways to write this out. We can either say more than 2 meters, or we can say, well, we are not less than. So while not less than 2 meters. There's a couple different ways to do it, but we don't really care about that. We just care about making sure the code works. So let's go ahead and restart it once more. And we are going to exact. We're going to comment this out. It's kind of annoying to see every time. And done. Okay, and we also want to, we'll do that after. Let's make sure this functionality is properly working. So there's us. There's the pilot. Okay. Let's take a look at the particular distance between the two. And let's see. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. So once again, we can tighten this up a little bit more as well. But once again, we're at the mercy of client performance. We're at the mercy of the frames that are being observed. So we want to have something that's on that spectrum between perfect accuracy and not so perfect accuracy, but a better success rate. Cool. So now what? Now we want to do some sort of navigation to the next waypoints. So let's go ahead and do that now. We want to pull up our handy dandy task plane mission native. we'll do task plane mission. And actually, we can start shortcutting some of this functionality here. So we'll do task plane mission. We want our ped, obviously. Ped vehicle. Luckily, we only need to call this once. So ped vehicle, target. Target ped, target vehicle. Say target ped targ ped ve equals nil. That way we could just call this twice. Targ ped ve, targ ped ve. What's next? We also want to do the XYZ chord, the target where we want to end up. So this is where we set it to be waypoint 3. Right. And we want XYZ. We also want the mission index, or the type of mission, which is always 4 for some reason, which is basically just task go to. Don't ask how I know that. Cruise speed, we're going to set to get entity speed vehicle. So whatever your current speed is, that's what we want you to continue as. Target reach distance, we're basically going to set that to we're going to set that to something really small, so 0.01. F orientation, we will set that to be -1. It gets really buggy otherwise. Flight height, which is where we want to navigate, we're going to set that to get entity coordinates of the SPV dot C. And we can actually do arithmetic on this, so +10, I usually do. And then minimum height above terrain, lastly, is going to be min height above terrain. Let's say 1. And we'll enable precision as well. Cool. So now we should have pending. We'll say here navigating to the next waypoint. So what we should see now is we have our 4 waypoints, all right? Our lovely old GTA 4 map, or GTA 5 map, 4 waypoints. We'll have our navigation. It's going to start navigating. Our navigation is navigating. And then basically, once he gets into this point, so within 2 meters, right here, within 2 meters of nav waypoint 2, he's going to basically start the turn, which he should make the turn to face the next waypoint, something like this. And then I have no clue what the end heading is going to be. Maybe that's what the heading variable is for, but we'll go ahead and experiment with that a little bit more. So let's go ahead and restart. I don't know where I am right now. Jeez, I flew out of the range. Yeah, this is so far out. I think it's at 10,000. No, it's -30 30,000 limit. At 30,000, we'll see the wings should just about fall off the plane here. So let's see. Let's see if it does the thing. Okay. Yeah, so I plan on adding a few more maps actually, further out, especially things that are like other activities. So like picture a drift map, right, where you can go fly there and then you could go drift with like friends or against the computer or a time trial attack or whatever. Basically something that gives purpose to flying again, because flying in games is kind of like, it's kind of nuanced, it's kind of whatever, but like imagine being able to fly to an island so you can hang out with your friends or play a mini game or do X, Y, and Z, right? Where you can't teleport, but you can actually like either fly there yourself or have someone else fly you, whether it's AI or other players itself. Oh, there's the engine. 30,000. So yeah, that is the goal. And we're going to leave this guy to die alone. Alrighty, so let's see what happens here. Alright. I probably should do more than one airplane, but we'll just start with the single test case and then see where that takes us. Let's see. Now, there are some ideas for other things as well, but we'll go over those a little bit later if we have time still. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could talk about one of them now. One of which will be an aerial refueling script, which obviously won't be functional at first. Oh, here comes the turn. Hold on. I'll shut up. I'll stop yapping. Okay. What? Oh, no way. So is it doing a slow? Yuck. Maybe, I wonder if we could fix that. Let's see. That is disgusting. Nav waypoint 3. Okay, so we'll do nav waypoint 3.x, nav waypoint 3.y, and then we'll set it to nil. This way, hopefully it shouldn't try to worry about the altitude difference. Because right now it is worrying about the altitude difference, and I guess when it reaches, what is it, 1266.81, it's trying to touch it, but it doesn't try to hold that angle, which is like really weird. I don't know why. Anyway. I'm curious if we can change the heading. Let's see. One thing at a time. Let me do one thing at a time. So this is the nil navigation. So let's try it again. Yeah, so as I was saying, actually it's a perfect opportunity to demonstrate what that would look like. As I was saying, one of the things that I plan on implementing as well is a sort of aerial refueling script, which, while there are mods for GTA 5, is nowhere near as cool as what I planned. So basically, along with air traffic, one of the scripts that I like to have, or that we're going to have enabled, is aerial refueling, which basically spawns you in somewhere behind an aircraft, and it has you essentially, it allows you to pull up behind him or it, and basically do some sort of refueling operation. So, have no clue how. There's no default. Oh, jeez. There's no default. Why is he off target so much? It's kind of weird. There's no default aerial refueling vehicles in GTA, but we'll figure it out. We'll probably use like a Titan 2 or something. So long, Bowser. Anyway, yeah. Let me do that one more time. Wonder if we can do multiple. So 3 vehicles should be the same exact heading, should be the same exact navigation, should end up pretty much exactly the same. Let's see. Okay. Looking good. All right, so we're getting close. Should start seeing the first turn happen. Let's see. It's turn 1. Turn 2. Come on. Oh, that's weird. Actually, no, it's not weird. That's understandable. All right, we should not be getting the bobbing anymore, though. Okay, good. Though the wings are not level, I don't like that. Not sure if that's like something weird. Let's see. Maybe we can do... So let's go ahead and grab the new coordinates. And this time we'll change the order of the variables here. 1 and 2. And we'll get rid of the minus 180 because that was a fix for the wrong order. And this should give us the difference between the two sort of... Oh, this guy is dipping. That doesn't matter. Okay. So 90. That should not be 90. Nav. Oh, duh. Of course it's 90. Of course it's 90 because it should be 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2. And 3 minus 2. Let's re-attempt that. Okay, let's go inside. Sorry, just getting distracted really quickly. Hold on. Cycle through vehicle seats. All right, and then if you press F. Oh, he's not leveled off. Ugh. All right, whatever. Jeez Louise. Yeah, so I should be able to get off. I think there's that's this. That's annoying. Okay, I'll have to fix that. So basically, for those who don't know, Titan management lets you stand up in the back of a Titan when the plane is level. Oh, like now, let's try. Boom. So, what? I'm stuck. I feel like I'm falling. I think I'm cooked. I can't see anything, and I don't hear an engine turning. All right, so I'm probably dead in a few seconds, which is a bug that I have to fix because now I'm stuck, and I can't see what's going on. What? No, my Z is... Okay, that was weird. Anyway, I was expecting to fall. That was so anticlimactic. Anyway, let's go ahead and restart. Titan management. We'll go ahead and restart pre-alpha flyby. That's what we want. Okay. Heading 166.79, blah, 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 blah. So let me visually verify that. 160, yeah, that's about right. Cool. So let's go into our code, and where we have -1 for the heading, I'm actually going to set that to our new value, just to see how that affects the actual turn. So we will restart, and am I stuck? Yo. All right, maybe I have to, let me spawn a vehicle. Miljet. There we go, okay. Nope, there we don't go. That is the craziest. I did not even know that's a bug. What the heck? I'm like attached to the interior of the Titan, I guess? I don't know. That's weird. I'll fix that. Hey, that's going to be open source, so you guys are going to have to help me out on that one. That one's weird. Okay. Parachute fix it. Yeah. Maybe it like got caught up with the no clip? I don't know. Anyway. All right, restart it one more time. Let's see. So we're actually close. Once we figure out the navigation for the Titan, we can essentially just, or once we figure out the first turn, once we master that, then we can basically just copy paste it, the code, or do a while loop or for loop, just so that the vehicle can constantly do turns from point to 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 point. And then maybe we can have another vehicle on the other side flying the opposite direction. So, well, we're going this way, which is, what is this? West. The other vehicle's going east on the other side, and they're just constantly circling a circling path. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, let's see what happens here. Okay, let's see what we got here. 166 point something. That's the heading we should be at. What? Alrighty. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, I guess we'll have to figure out why that's not doing it. Why that's not doing the thing. Current vehicle, target reach distance, entity coords. Yeah, it all seems okay. Oh, that's fine, I'll figure it out. Okay, and I think that's about it. There was one more thing. No, this has been a pretty long enough stream. Thank you guys for showing up. We will have more fun stuff to come later on. Let's see. Oh, test AI. That's what I wanted to show you. Stop. Pre-elf. Flyby. Start test AI. Right before we go. And we will maybe use the original chords we had. Let's use the original chords. So I did fix out the existing sort of the existing test AI script. It was really buggy last time. I don't know why, but it is working again. And as I mentioned before, I think it has to do with natives, some existing natives for the collision avoidance, but that's been taken care of. Flight test, and we have XYZ heading. So we'll say something like this. Flight test, XYZ, heading, passenger, and we'll do something like, I don't know. We will do the vampire. What is it called? Laser Luxor. Pyro. Pyro. Or maybe not. Looks like the let's see. Cancel task 1. Yeah, I think it's handling. I have to fix that. MP1 LT1. Alright, well, restart test AI. See ya. Alright, anyway, let's see. Maybe we do that again, except with a more stable vehicle, Miljet. Better. There we go. So yeah, fix the aircraft navigation for the test AI script so I can continue my handy dandy tests. MP1 will do a right turn for, I don't know, 20 degrees. And there she blows. So we can cancel task 1. We can go MP1 left turn, cancel task, MP1 descend 1. You can just spam that. You can cancel task 1. And yeah, basically, that's that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll have, this script should be finished. It's like maybe a day or 2 job. It should be done pretty quickly. Once it's done, we'll have something, something cooking for our handy dandy server. And it won't be quite so empty or bare or quiet. But it'll actually have some sort of activity in the background. And then once that's done, maybe we'll have an announcement, maybe not. But I will keep you all posted. So as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the skies. Take care. I'm gonna go get this guy. MP1 CL. I got him. He's mine. He's mine. Jeez, I'm not gaining on him by much. Maybe I can shoot him? Maybe. Come on, you. I think I'll have to gain on him by leveling off first. Oh, he stalled. Oh no! 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 Oh! Ah, yes, the benefit of not blocking temporary task events. There it is. Alrighty. Once again, thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, we will talk later.